Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekly fundamental podcast. I'm Rasmi Koza from Kotak Securities. On the international side, almost all global markets closed flat last week. US markets gave up gains last week as mega tech stocks fell on Friday after reporting upbeat quarterly results. Asia Pacific and emerging markets, which were supposed to be the favorites for this calendar year, are grossly underperforming the developed markets as of now. On calendar year to date basis, the MSCI Emerging Markets Index is up only 4.4% as compared to MSCI World Index and US markets, which are up around 10%. Most of the emerging markets have seen their currencies depreciate between 1 and 10% against the USD in this calendar year to date. This is also one of the reasons for FPI outflows for most emerging markets in this year to date basis. On the other hand, US markets, which are trading near all time highs, are witnessing strong inflows into the $6.2 trillion ETF market. In the first quarter of this year, US ETFs saw $239 billion of inflows as compared to total US $231 billion seen in whole of calendar year 20. That was on the international side. Host of news on the domestic side. Surprisingly, Indian markets outperformed global markets last week, even though we are witnessing the highest number of new COVID cases worldwide. The Nifty 50 was up 2%, while the Nifty Mid Cap Index and the BSE Small Cap Index were up 3 and 3.2% respectively last week. Metal stocks continued their dream run, with the BSE Metals Index gaining 10% last week, 24% in the month of April, and 53% in calendar year to date basis. An update on metal prices. The LME copper prices touched almost $10,000 per ton for the second time after 10 years. Copper price has gone up 92% in the last 1 year and 28% in this calendar year to date. The China's withdrawal from the steel export market should keep ex-China steel prices or margins at elevated levels for a little longer time. The domestic flat prices are currently 15% discount to import parity, and dealers expect a price hike of around 2000 to 3000 per ton for May 21. The domestic HR prices have already increased by 15% month on month in April. On the macro side, GST collections of March, which are collected in April, hit peak of Rs 41,384 crores. Robust economic activity in the month of March, coupled with stringent monitoring by the government, has contributed to the sharp increase in GST collection. Going forward, Q1 GST collection numbers could get impacted because of the second wave and fresh restrictions being imposed by various state governments. On flows, the FPIs have gone on the back foot in India because of the record new cases that are being registered in the country. In April month, FPIs have sold Indian equities worth around Rs 8,600 crore. They had turned mildly positive in the last 2 days of last week, but we are not sure whether this can sustain in the near future. FPIs might remain cautious on Indian markets for some time and turn buyers as and when the cases subside materially. Till date, maximum number of results have come from IT services, BFSI, FMCG, automobiles, and cement space. Apart from few exceptions in FMCG and automobiles, we have not seen much impact on the EBITDA level. Earnings of most companies has come way above estimates. Due to the cost rationalization, companies are reporting healthy operating cash flows, and many of them have reported very good free cash flows also. We expect overall Q4 earnings season to meet or exceed expectations going forward. We have not seen much impact of the higher raw material cost in the Q4 numbers, but going forward it will visibly be materially or visibly be there in Q1 and Q2 numbers of FY22. The steep rise in copper and steel prices to near decade high is a cause of concern for the entire manufacturing sector, and it could eat into the margins in the coming quarters. Going forward, June quarter will surely see impact on earnings on a sequential basis. However, on YOY basis, earnings growth will still be material because we had a complete lockdown in Q1 of FY20 and there is a favorable base effect. The last two quarters saw consistent earnings upgrades which will halt as of now, and we could possibly see earnings downgrades maybe after June quarter results if the COVID situation drags into Q2. As of now, we are not building in any complete lockdown scenario, so to that extent, we could see minor cut in future estimates probably after the June quarter results. From the single digit earnings growth expectations that we saw after the eruption of pandemic last year, we would end up this FY21 with around 17% earnings growth. This coupled with more than 20% CAGR earnings growth likely to come in the next 2 years could lead to moderation in valuations as we go forward. Based on benchmark 19 to 20 times forward PE and on March 23 estimates, we can expect the Nifty to go anywhere between 15,500 and 16,000 by end of FY22. On expiry, the rollovers have not been great. They have been quite weak for both Nifty 50 and the Nifty Bank Index. Going by the maximum open interest of put and calls, 14 to 15,000 is the range we are seeing for the near future. Any breakout or breakdown from this range can trigger faster movement. Going by the rise in COVID cases and commodity prices, the probability of Nifty 50 breaking 14,000 is higher than breaking out above 15,000 at this point of time. Below 14,000, the major support levels for Nifty 50 are at 13,600 and the 200-day moving average, which works to around 13,047. We are still some time away in terms of recording peak cases, which means there could be more negative news flows on the COVID front. Markets could face headwinds on every rise because of the looming negatives and threat of earnings. Most of the earnings that are coming are exceeding or in line with expectations, but much of that is discounted by the market. Hence, one can stay cautious for some time and look to have a buy on dip strategy for making higher double-digit returns in the next 1 year. Any correction in near term could be viewed positively, and investors can look to increase exposure in every decline. In any correction, we would prefer cyclical and economy driven sectors over the defensives. We feel the defensives could peak out along with the COVID cases in near future, and thereafter we can expect the economy driven sectors to gain momentum. In our monthly strategy for this month, we have identified 6 stocks from long term perspective. These are Escorts, GIL, ICICI Bank, ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, Tech Mahindra, and United Spirits. So that's it from my side for this week. Have a great week ahead and stay safe. Thank you.